Today we're going to be continuing our forgiveness series. We're going to be talking about Christ's example with forgiveness. What better example to look at on the topic of forgiveness than Christ himself? I mean, he went through so much coming down to this earth. People would do harmful things, say completely false things about him, try to prevent him from his mission. He could have gave in to all the things that were happening to him, but instead he chose to have so much grace towards everybody he came in contact with, even the most difficult. So today I kind of want to look at the end of his ministry, right as he was about to go to the cross. Let's go to Luke 22:31. All right, so to set the stage, Jesus is talking to his disciple, Simon Peter. And this is someone who's supposed to be a close friend of Jesus, someone he can confide in, someone that should be loyal. But let's see what actually happens. Verse 31 says, "And the Lord said, 'Simon, Simon, indeed Satan has asked for you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you, that your faith should not fail, and when you have returned to me, strengthen your brethren.' But he said to him, 'Lord, I am ready to go with you, both to prison and to death.' Then he said, 'I tell you, Peter, the rooster shall not crow this day before you will deny 3 times that you know me.'" So Christ ends up talking to Peter and is like, "Listen, you're going to deny me. You're going to betray me. You're going to act like you don't know who I am." But Peter's like, "What are you talking about? I'm going to be faithful. If I have to go to prison with you, I'll go to prison with you. If I have to die for you, I will die for you. I will go to my death and I will be loyal to you." That's what Peter told him. But Christ was like, that's not what's going to happen. And then you see later on in the chapter, Peter ends up denying Christ and saying, "I do not know this man," cursing and swearing, all those things. Again, this is Christ's disciple, someone who should be a friend, but he ends up denying him. Was Christ bitter, angry, nasty to him, knowing that this was going to happen? And also seeing that it happened? No. He was filled with love and compassion. "I've prayed for you." That was his attitude. And that's how he behaved and acted, not in a revengeful, hateful way. All right, so let's fast forward to when Christ was facing the cross later on in this chapter. Let's go to Luke 22, verse 63. All right, so at this point, Christ had already been arrested, and these are some of the things that happened to him, and this is how he was treated. Verse 63 says, "Now the men who held Jesus mocked him and beat him." Verse 64, "And having blindfolded him, they struck him on the face and asked him, saying, 'Prophesy, who's the one who struck you?'" So they were mocking him, beating him. So let's go to Luke 23, verse 33. "And when they had come to the place called Calvary, there they crucified him and the criminals, one on the right hand and the other on the left." Verse 34, "Then Jesus said, 'Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do.'" Imagine having all these things happen to you. You're being mocked. People are mocking your identity. If you're really Christ, prophesy. Who's the one who struck you? They're mocking him. They're beating him up. He's about to die. They're about to murder him. All these things are happening at once. He's being falsely accused. And what is his immediate action? He says, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." That was his immediate response while it was currently happening to him, while he just was betrayed by his disciples, and now everyone has turned against him. That's his immediate response. He had compassion in his heart instead of anger. While he's in agony, dying, facing this emotional, spiritual, physical grief, carrying the weight of everybody's sins, yet he's still able to have that compassion and grace to the people who are putting these accusations against him. When we face things, it may take us some time. In the immediate moment, we may be very angry and frustrated and very bitter about something that somebody has done. But this example that Christ gives us is really convicting and kind of like a wake-up call that forgiveness can take place even in the midst of bad situation that is happening to you, and it doesn't have to wait until after it's over, days, weeks. You know, sometimes that may happen and we need to process the situation, but it's just really inspiring to know that Christ was able to do this with everything he had going on. And it's just like, if Christ did this with what he went through, how much more important is it for us to do the same as well? And guys, there are so many other examples of how Christ showed forgiveness, even when people were undeserving of it. But I just wanted to highlight those two examples, and I hope this can inspire you all as well in your lives and situations that you go through with people that you deal with, to extend that compassion instead of anger, bitterness, and negative feelings.